Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's get into this. We're going to take a look at the full moon energy for Sagittarius. And we start out with the Three of Cups, and we have all this truth. Truth balanced on the top of these ladies' heads. We could have great conversations right around this full moon. We could have characters that are really sharing their genuine thoughts. They're really seeing each other as real people. I feel like there's an important conversation taking place where either maybe Sag is engaging in a conversation with their friends, possibly like asking, I wonder what I should do about this, possibly divine masculine. I've met somebody, I'm interested in somebody, what action should I take? It feels more like we have a conversation happening about what should I do? I want people to give me like real feedback, genuine, like what do you really think? Give me your thoughts. The thing is, if Sag is the catch in this scenario, and they shouldn't forget that. But if their wish come true is to communicate with someone, maybe they will break the ice. Maybe they'll reach out first. It's that, or it's that someone is thinking about sending a message to Sag, and they're asking their own friends, whoever the messenger is here, they're asking, what should I do? How should I approach? Because, man, I'm really intimidated. The Sag is like, they're amazing. It's one direction or the other. Somebody is consulting, asking advice of other individuals. What do you think about this message I'm going to send? But I just don't know if it's Sag going to send a message or if it's them. In this case, I mean, this card technically could be Sag because it's our only wand energy. But then we have Aquarius, and in general, we have water energy coming off of the Three of Cups. We have Gemini. Okay, so the reason I'm struggling to figure out who is who in this equation is because it could be that Sag and another person are both having the same dialogue, the same consultation with their friends right now about like, really want to talk to Sag. Oh, this person's saying, I really want to talk to Sag. Sag is like, I really want to talk to them. Look, there is passion, there is love, and sometimes when two people don't know quite how to break the ice or quite what message to send, we even have the moon and the sun on this wand, and that would represent the masculine and the feminine, just complementary energies. It doesn't have to be, Sag is, feminine and they're masculine, or vice versa. It could be same-sex couples still, but let's say two people, there's even two flowers on either side of this card. I'm feeling like Sag and another person are on the exact same wavelength. They both want to talk. They both are maybe consulting with friends, like, I really want to say something to them. What do you think I should do? That's kind of sweet, though, that both people are thinking so heavily about each other. So if this is a shared interest, somebody's interested in Sag is interested in them, but neither person knows what action to take. Okay, we have a Page of Pentacles. The pages are our messengers, right? I feel like either this is a connection that hasn't moved from friend zone into flirt zone yet. And it's like, well, I talked to them, but we've just never talked like, anything more than just vague friends. How do I go from, I like being your friend, but if there's an option, I'd like to be more? To me, that's where our storyline is getting, like, that's where the question mark is. Eight of Cups, Four of Wands, and here's what's at risk. If I bring this up, what if I wreck our friendship? Because this is so important to me. Even if it's never going to go to love, I don't want to lose this person. So I feel like we're in that awkward moment where both people are like holding back only because they don't want to, once you step across a line and you emit how you feel, is that going to make everything weird if they don't feel the same? Let's get a message of advice. I mean, if the full moon energy is about like releasing things, sometimes it's bringing things to the surface that have been in the subconscious. And in this case, I'm going to say that Sag and another person who have mutual interest in each other, who've not been expressing it, they're both going through the exact same energies right now of, here's where my worry is. What if I say something and they don't feel the same, and then I blew our friendship? It's kind of sweet to see. Here we go, back to the advice of friends. The way I would look at this is, if as long as both characters actually have a sincere friendship with each other, first and foremost, it could be that it's like, lead with that, I never want to lose our friendship ever, ever, ever. But I would want to explore if there's more than friends for us, because, I do have these feelings. I think that both of them, maybe they're going to have an in between. Maybe they're going to have a mediator. Maybe there's going to be a friend who's like, hey, let me find out how they really feel about you. And then let me find out how they really feel about you. And we could have, because we do have that friend smack dab in the middle of all this. King of Wands is upright. See, I always think that the direct route between two people is the preferred choice, not going with a mediator when we're talking about, what if they say something wrong? What if they don't convey it right? That could do more harm than good. This kind of says, at least Sag is going to be saying, no, I don't want anybody to act on my behalf. Maybe it's true. Maybe my heart needs to speak for itself. It feels like there's going to be an offer of, well, I could ask around for you. I could find out. And I think this is very much Sag stepping into, Sag could be a masculine or a feminine, but Sag seems to be stepping into, I don't want anybody making decisions for me. When I'm ready, I'll say what I need to say. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to lie about it. And I don't want to give off more mixed signals. I don't really want to do weird flirtation or try something and then have it not work out. I think here's at the baseline, Sag is like, I would not want to embark on something with somebody unless it's more than just, a fling. I don't, that could get really awkward too. What if we don't make it as a relationship and there were no serious intentions right from the start on their part? Then it wouldn't work. And then we'd lose the friendship too, because now it would feel disrespectful or something. So I'm going to have to make sure that whatever I say, I speak from the heart when I'm ready. I don't want to hide anything. And I even want to talk about, like, here's my worry. It's not just about losing the friendship, but my worry is, only if I really have interest in this person, I need to really own it and then let them know, like, only come toward me if you genuinely have the same level of interest in me, because I don't want to do the, no strings attached. That's what this looks like, is Sag is like, I don't want to get into the murky world of it's passion, but I don't know what it means. And it's, there's more confusion than there is consistency. I think that that's the way I would see it for the way Sag is looking at this. Like, I would rather not go down this road at all if it could leave me with, confusion. Okay, what about on their side? Seven of Swords. Okay, so they've been thinking about Sag for a long time. They could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but they've been lying, hiding their emotions. They've been thinking a lot. They could have a jealous streak also. That they have a Four of Swords. They could have been holding back though as well and not telling Sag how they felt because they were still trying to heal. But I gotta say, they have a pretty big hunger for Sag in this storyline, and I don't think that they would love seeing Sag like interact with somebody else. This looks like, Inspiration of Pentacles. It looks like they're interested, but it hasn't been the right time for them to really express much more. And for them, the energy of like turning a new page in a book as a little bit more than friends, although keeping it more friends like, has been where they've been at. What do you want with Sag character? Inspiration of Cups. They're still wishy-washy. If this were upright, I'd be like, oh, okay, so they want to tentatively try a relationship, try love, try emotions that go beyond friendship. This says they're still not sure. So Sag is more ready than they are, which is probably why they haven't made the move. Let me ask this, universe, what is the advice to Sag? Because Sag seems to me in this storyline to be saying, the one thing I don't want is anything that's going to make me feel wishy-washy, like they're not sure how they feel about me. Right now, we see them as someone who, they want Sag, but they're giving off, I think, some loads of mixed signals, honestly. They're giving off signals of, I stare at Sag all the time. I am interested in Sag. They draw my eyes like a magnet when Sag walks into a room, but we're kind of just friends. I've barely ended some other, thing that I've been healing from. So this is me writing the next chapter in my book of life, but I don't really know. I don't really know if I could offer love and emotion, but as far as lust goes, oh yeah, they're interested. But I feel like this person would be giving loads of confusing signals. Like if they're so interested in me and I can tell it, I can read the look in their eyes, but they're not coming toward me. Should I broach the subject? I can see why we have like Sag wondering about, what do friends think I should do about this? How should I handle this? Universe, what's the advice to Sag in all this? If Sag wants them to be the emperor, let them act as an emperor. And if they fail to act as an emperor, then go find some other emperor. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but as far as like the deep down, keep in mind, if the full moon brings up stuff from the subconscious, then it's going to be the stuff that a character really thinks, really means, because it's held, deep within our heart or deep within our, psyche or subconscious. So if Sag wants an emperor, then you got to let the emperor take the lead, let the emperor make that move, because it's the energy of the sun, this is the masculine energy. So if Sag wants them to lead the way, then Sag has to let them lead the way. Doesn't mean Sag has to wait for them. It means, though, that instead of Sag trying to step up and this looked like a feminine trying to play the role of a masculine here. And again, all I mean by that is the moon versus the sun. And it's like Sag is the moon who would normally, pull somebody in with gravity, but instead they're about to take action like the sun. But if they want an emperor, they'd be stealing the emperor's thunder if Sag makes a move on them. It says, let them decide if they're emperor enough to step forward. And if they're not, and right now it kind of looks like they're not, even though they want Sag. But if they can't offer what a real emperor would, if they could only offer the wand, they could only offer passion, then they're not an emperor yet, because an emperor offers everything. If they're not stepping forward to do that, then this kind of says, Sag, keep in mind, if you want an emperor, they got to step to you as an emperor, not you go step up to them, be like, hi, I wanted to give you a chance to be an emperor. Emperors make their own chances. So it really says hold steady with what Sag wants, kind of meaning don't go toward them and offer them an option, or Sag might get exactly what it is they said they don't want. Let them come towards Sag with intention, no confusion, make the offer. It's weird though, because I know they keep showing interest, but they're not taking action. And so I can see why that would be confusing. But the one thing that simplifies it is if Sag's, goal is that I only want it to deal with an emperor, then it says, then they have to come to Sag as an emperor right out of the gate. And Sag can't beat him to the punch on that. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.